What's a big industry secret that isn't supposed to be known by the general public? I work at a hospital in an area where there are lots of hospitals. RER has an EMT lounge with free slushies, soda and snack foods, so the EMTs choose our hospital when delivering patients. If you get in a car accident, and your insurance tries telling you that you have to or that you should take your car to a specific repair facility to get repaired, tell them to go fist themselves. You have no obligation to any insurance company or repair facility. You can take your car to any body shop you like to have the repairs done, and it's against the law for insurance companies to tell you that you can't. However, they often use tricky wording to make you feel like you have no say. Especially if you're a woman. Source: estimator and parts manager for a body shop. Relative of mine was a mystery shopper and did a lot of car garages. He would get sent in with a car and had to get it serviced and reported on how well it was completed / if they found all the faults / if the customer service was up to scratch, etc. The results were usually 6/10, until suddenly every garage was a 10/10 continuously. He investigated as it was a bit suspicious and found mystery shopper, written on the bottom of the car he was given. One of the garages sussed him out and wrote it there for future garages to find, and make sure they have it the best possible service. TL, Doctor, right mystery shopper, on the bottom of your car when you get it serviced to ensure it gets the best service possible. Edit: this generally refers to large car garages such as Skoda and Seat who work on their own model cars for their customers. Going to your local mechanic round the corner, he isn't going to expect a mystery shopper anytime soon. It's more the corporate garages who hire MY-sirs. McGraw-Hill makes practically every textbook allowed in America's school. At the end of every year they throw away the tens of thousands of books for the tax write-off because it's going to a recycling plant. I am talking textbook for K through 12, college books of every type, teacher editions, and class sets of short stories and books for kids in process of learning to read. A normal textbook costs a school $60 to $80 a pop, but they throw enough away to educate every child in Africa. When I worked at the recycling plant I wasn't allowed to take them because it was considered illegal to distribute them. I truly lost all hope for the future of humanity after that. And quit my job. The place they're sent to is called Medina Recycling in Ohio. I seriously wanna find a way to make this big news and trash McGraw-Hill over it. It is also a 2-month period that is Medina Recycling's largest contract for profit. Edit: sorry, the company name is McGraw-Hill. Edit 2, I know I said end of the month, but with a lot of new information coming to light, I realized that I can't do this sloppy or it is either going to get me in trouble or it'll be swept under the rug. Probably going to get a Kickstarter going on this so I can get around and talk to other schools and McGraw-Hill associates in the tri-state area, along with creating a huge list of newspaper and media outlets to be notified all at the same time. This is going to be more work than previously thought. Please message me up if you can offer help. Edit 3, wow, my gold cherry just got popped, thank you, and had to remove evidence of incrimination, but it may be re-released once I talk to my lawyer tomorrow. I attended a songwriting workshop at Berklee School of Music, and Anna Wise, Grammy-winning songwriter, Kendrick Lamar collaborator, told the audience during a presentation that whenever someone magically blows up on SoundCloud or YouTube, that it's not authentic. A label will sign the artist in secret, and then suddenly boost their viewership tremendously to make it look like the independent artist did it on their own. A bottle of Windex is basically 95% water, 4% ammonia, and 1% blue dye, fragrance. The most expensive part of the product is the bottle. The fresh chocolate chip cookies scent that can be smelled outside of the Magic Kingdom bakery is artificial. It's piped out there to draw you into the bakery. My sister was on The Biggest Loser. Jillian and Bob were there 2, maybe 3 days a week. They make it seem like they live there. If you get involuntarily bumped from a flight, you can get paid out 200 to 400% of the flight's cost back depending on how late you get to your destination. If this happens to you, they'll offer you a bunch of vouchers, but be persistent and they'll pay you out. If the airline arranges substitute transportation that is scheduled to arrive at your destination between 1 and 2 hours after your original arrival time, between 1 and 4 hours on international flights, the airline must pay you an amount equal to 200% of your one-way fare to your final destination that day, with a $650 maximum. If the substitute transportation is scheduled to get you to your destination more than 2 hours later, 4 hours internationally, or if the airline does not make any substitute travel arrangements for you, the compensation doubles, 400% of your one-way fare, $1,300 maximum. Edit: when a flight is overbooked they come over the PA and start handing out a few $100 vouchers and put you on the next flight. If you take one of these vouchers you have voluntarily given up your seat. If no one takes them the first round, they keep on going up in voucher amounts, but eventually if no one takes them they're going to have to involuntarily bump people off the plane. If this happens to you, make sure you follow above rules. Personally, in my experience, I had a SWA flight from Phoenix to Chicago on the 23rd of December at 10 a.m. They came over the PA offering a $300 voucher and a spot on the next flight. I had nothing special to do except hang out with family, so I took it and they put me on the 12 p.m. flight. 30 minutes before boarding that flight the same thing happens. Well, I'll take another $300 and they put me on the 3 p.m. flight. Guess what? It happens again, but this time they gave me $500, and I'm on the 6 p.m. flight. And you guessed it, they ask for volunteers again and I got another $500 and now I'm on the 8 p.m. flight. So I spent a day in the airport and sampled all the great dining options at Sky Harbor and ended up with $1,600 in SWA credits to use over the next year. Was able to go on 3 trips with my girlfriend without paying for flights. Moving forward, if I ever travel before Thanksgiving or Christmas, I'm booking the earlier flight and racking up the vouchers. Edit 2, if your flight is cancelled due to weather or mechanical issues, USL accept them getting you on the next available flight. Flights are frequently cancelled when there isn't enough seats sold, and most of the time the airlines say it was a mechanical problem so they don't have to give you anything. Former Dunkin' employee here. We don't check the survey codes at the bottom of your receipt. Any random 5 digits in the space, you've got a free donut with purchase. At Subway, my manager never once bought real mayonnaise. The light mayo and the real mayo are both light mayo. Investigate those D-seekers. As call center employee, I can assure you that all of our calls are recorded not for training purposes, but to protect our own US. Not sure if this is an industry practice, but a very popular online retail company in my country has no in-house web designers or any other IT staff beyond your generic networking techs. Anytime their website or back-end systems need work, they simply advertise a permanent position and give the job of sorting out whatever they need done as a trial for the candidate. Once completed, they then inform them that the position is no longer available and send them on their way. They've been doing this for years. Edit, well, that escalated quickly. Ever done an online insurance quote? That's just a slightly watered down version of what your insurance agent is working with. Seriously. We just put in the info and the computer spits out a price. Unless coverage or rating information changes, the price you get is what you get. 20 to 30 years ago, an agent could tell you how much different rating factors impacted the price, etc. Today's agents aren't privy to any of that information. TL, doctor, insurance agents don't just pull a price out of their asses and hope you'll take it. The computer does that for us. If you have a Bank of America credit or debit card, and your card gets declined and you call and find out it was because of a data breach, the fraud department that you speak to is forced by the bank to tell you that they can't see where or when the data breach occurred, but we can see it. It shows us right there on our computer. It's really effing annoying for everyone involved, other than the bank apparently, since they're the ones that enforce this. It's a major problem because your card gets completely shut off right there over the phone, and we have to send in a request to have a completely new card and card number sent to you. Then, you wait about 2 weeks to receive it in the mail, and have to change everything you pay your bills on to the new card number. But if you go back to the store with that new card that had the data breach and they still haven't resolved the problem with the breach, then your card will be shut off again. Rinse and repeat. Please try not to get too angry at the people you talk to on the phone. They don't work at BOA, they're just lowly call center workers, and they're fired if tell you where it happened. The bank is saving their own ass to not piss off big companies that don't want that info to leak to the public. Edit, I didn't think this would actually get seen much. In case I go missing, BOA probably sent someone to kill me. It feels like it shouldn't be a secret, but a lot of people just don't get it. If you find yourself waiting forever to be seen in the ER, that's probably a very good thing. We get the serious stuff back there pretty dang quick. Edit, for clarity's sake, a whole lot of pain doesn't automatically make something serious. A broken arm or something hurts like hell, but we're going to take the guy who's sweating and says his chest feels a little tight before you. Because he might be dying and you definitely aren't. From a pharmacy perspective, most people don't understand how dietary supplements are regulated by the FDA. They are basically special food, not a drug. So you know all that safety and efficacy testing the FDA requires before a drug can even get to the market? Yeah, that doesn't happen with dietary supplements. They are held to a much lower safety standard than drugs. When do they get pulled off the shelves? When they are proven unsafe through use in the public. Also, they sometimes contain prescription ingredients. Libido-enhancing dietary supplements routinely are found to contain derivatives of sildenafil, Viagra, and other similar drugs. That sounds great and all to some people, but many men seeking these unproven OTC enhancers are on nitrates for chest pain, which could prove to be a very significant drug interaction causing a big drop in blood pressure from widespread vasodilation. Basically, dietary supplements aren't under the same scrutiny that drugs are, and most people think if it made it to the shelf it must be safe. That's not true. Your children tell us nearly everything about what goes on in your home. Source, preschool teacher. Thanks for all the upvotes and replies. Cracking up reading some of these. Merlin Entertainments, the company that runs a wide variety of midway attractions like Legoland Discovery Centers as well as Legoland itself, pays most of their American employees less than Walmart. Oftentimes, employees love the job, but ultimately can't afford to keep it. This causes a near 90% turnover rate. Ask to have the late fee waived. I literally cannot do anything with it until you specifically ask. So you have a late fee of $30 on this. Gee, that's a lot. Why is it so much? That's the late fee we have. I do apologize for that inconvenience. Well, I guess I'll have to pay it then. Okay, so your bill is $150. Do you realize how much that is? Yes, and I do apologize for the inconvenience. Well, can you do something about it? Yes. Now I can because you asked. Please stop making me feel guilty that you paid your bill late. Edit, since so many are asking, I work in insurance for business owners. I'm sorry I'm not the cell phone / bank, mortgage / hospital / etc. company. If it makes you all feel better, I'd waive all of your late fees. I work for a web design development agency in Canada. Clients think they pay us to do the work. The reality. We charge anywhere from $5,000 to $200,000 plus for web projects. We take 90% of those projects and outsource them to India for $200. The projects come back built so poorly, we spend months fixing them. The CEO laughs to the bank. I don't agree with the process, but that's why I quit and start a new job next week. Our printing department printed your t-shirts wrong, and right now they're filling in the missing ink spots with Sharpies. Grocery store bakeries do not bake the cakes they decorate. That stuff comes in frozen. I can't bake you a carrot cake. On top of that, most of the baking in grocery store bakeries is just pulling frozen pastries or muffins or whatever out of a box and panning it up, then putting it in the proofer/shove-on. We don't really make things anymore. Edited for politeness. Midway games at carnivals or fairs purposely let people win early on in the day. This way people carry around the prizes and advertise them for the rest of the day. Edit, guess I should mention I volunteered at my local fair for several years. Printer ink cartridges are meant to signal that they're empty after a certain number of pages, even if they still have some ink left. God damn it, all that ink I wasted. Every programmer in the world occasionally writes a very bad code that sticks with the app/program forever. I work in the trucking industry and it's frightening how much food product is sold and resold after being rejected. Had a customer have a load of cheese refuse because it was too warm, but took it back to another warehouse, cooled it down and resold it to another customer. I have seen it done with cheese, juice, meat and seafood. Only seen it done about 4 to 5 times out of 10,000 plus loads I have moved, but that is still too high. Hospitals and doctors' office bills in the US can be negotiated, and many will offer huge cash discounts if you pay at the time of service. But once the insurance gets spilled, there is much less room for negotiation. If your bill gets applied to the insurance deductible, then the facility, by law, is supposed to collect the full amount that was applied to the deductible from you. Also, if there's a copay, the facility, by law, is supposed to collect that as well. For the average person on a high deductible plan, $1,000 plus, you'd have to get cancer, or be in a huge trauma for the insurance to kick in any meaningful payment. Insider advice: when you make an appointment at a doctor's office, ask if they have a point of service discount. Also, if you go to a hospital, don't let them know you have insurance until after they give you the bill. Do the negotiation first, then do the math and see if it's cheaper to pay out of pocket. If not, the facility has 6 months to bill your insurance after the date of service. Edit, this whole thing doesn't work for providers that strictly see in-network patients, i.e. HMOs. Nothing Bundt cakes is not made with natural ingredients or fresh every day. They can be kept frozen for a few weeks and our eggs come out of a giant bag, pre-mixed. You do not even want to know how much red 40 dye goes into the damn red velvet cake. When a movie trailer has shots that turn out to be missing from the actual movie, that's not because scenes were cut. Those shots never existed in the movie. The trailer didn't test as well as they wanted, so the studio inserted scenes specifically made for the trailer during additional photography. 99.9% of the guys/girls that you see in ads selling workout supplements don't actually take that crap and are high-dosing anabolic steroids.